Okay, basically the slope of a line is basically how steep the line is. Okay, so for example, a road. Okay, a road must climb upward over a short distance. Okay, if a road climbs upward over a short distance, then it's going to be a pretty steep slope. Okay, the slope measures the relationship between rise and run. Okay, rise and run. Okay, how high does the climb? How high is the climb? Over the distance. Okay, over how long it takes to climb the hill, or in this case the slope. How high it goes, over what distance. Okay, so remember, that's one way to measure, to figure out the slope. Okay, for example, here we got line P. We're going to call it line P. And it says, what is the slope of line P? Okay, well, we grab 2 points. Grab 2 points along the line, 2 points, and then see what it takes to go from one point to the other. Okay, so for example, this is because we start at the x-axis. All right, so this point right here is 1, 2, 3, -3, and then down 2, -2. Okay, that's this point here. 1, 2, 3 on the x-axis, and down 2, 1, 2 on the y-axis. Okay, so that's point 3, 2. And this point here is -1 and -1. Okay? So on the x is -1, and the y is -1. Over here the x is -3, and on the y is -2. Now, to get from this point to that point, okay, you will go up. You're at a -2, so you will go up 1. So the rise is 1. Okay, you will go up 1. That is 1. And then to the right, 1, 2. Okay? So 1 rise and 2 to the right. Okay? So your rise is going to be 1, and your run is going to be 2. Okay? Rise over run. Okay, so your slope is going to be 1/2. Okay, so here we have another example. We're going to find the slope of this line. What is the slope of this line? Remember, the slope is rise over run. Okay, that's one way to find the slope. All right, and let's call this line line S. Okay, call it line S. All right, so we grab 2 points along the line. Okay, it could be any 2 points. Now this point here is 1 on the x-axis, 1, and then 1, 2, 3, -3 on the y-axis. Okay, and then this point here is -1 on the x. We always do the x first. -1 and 1, 2, 3 on the y. +3 on the y because it goes up. All right. So the rise and the run. Okay, to get from here to here or from here to here. We're gonna do this time. We could do, if you want to go up, we could go up. All right, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the rise is 6, +6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the run is negative 1. Okay, because it goes this way. Okay? So the rise, 6. The run, okay, the run is negative 1. Okay? So this is a slope of negative 6. Okay? Oh, I have. Okay. Okay, I have to correct myself here. Apologize for that. Okay? Now. Okay, so we have. Okay, the run is. Okay. All right, so. We're going to go from this point to this point. Okay? We'll go from this point here to this point. All right? So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. Okay? So the rise is negative. From here to here is negative 6 because it's going down. And the run is, we're at 1. So 1 to the 0 to the 1. So that's 1. We go 1, 2. 1, 2. So that is 2 to the right. Okay? So we know that when we divide 6 divided by 2, we know that is 3. We have a negative and a positive, so that ends up being a negative. All right? So that is the slope. Now, as I was showing you the other way, I'll show you the mistake that I made. Okay? I went, okay, so let's do it here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the rise. And the run, I'm at 1, so I have to go from 1 to 0 and then to negative 1. So that's 2. Okay, that's 1, 2. So that's a negative slope. A negative run, I'm sorry, because it's to the left. Okay? So this is also negative 3. All right? Just the mistake I did. If you're at 1, you have to go from 1 to 0 and then from 0 to negative 1. Okay? It's good that I made that mistake, so we learn from our mistakes, and you make sure that when you're at 1, you go from 1 to 0 to the number. Okay? Very good. Okay, so we have another example, and this is a different way of finding the slope. Okay? You can also find the slope with this formula. Okay? y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay? Now we know our x and y coordinates. X and y. Okay, so y2 is 2 right there. Second y. Minus y1 or the first y. That's 4. Okay? x2 or the second x, negative 5. Minus x1, which is 1 over here. Okay? Okay? So, negative, we know negative 4 and positive 2 is going to give us negative 2. Okay? Because we have different signs, so that means we're going to subtract and keep the sign of the larger number. In the denominator, we have 2 negatives. Okay? So they're going to be added, and that's going to be negative 6. Okay? We have a negative and a negative. That means we're going to add. Okay? Now, we have 2 things going on here. We have 2 negatives, which means our result is going to be positive because a negative and a negative, when you divide or multiply, it's going to come out a positive. And we also get to reduce. 1 fits into itself one time. I'm sorry, 2 fits into itself one time, and 2 fits into 6 two times. I'm sorry, three times. Okay? So the slope of a line that passes through these 2 points is 1/3. Okay? Okay, so we have problems 1 and 2 over here. Okay, and it's, we need to find the slope. Okay, so if we find the slope of 1, we'll do it over here. We know that the slope is rise over run. Okay, and it doesn't matter if you go this way, or this way, or this way, or this way. You're always going to get the same thing. Okay, same slope. So let's figure out what this point is. This is 2 on the x-axis and +1 on the y. Okay? And then this one here is -1 on the x and -2 on the y-axis. Okay? Now, how do we get from, say, here to there? So we go up, our rise is going to be 1, 2, 3, 3, right? Because here we are. So the rise is 3. That's 1, 2, 3. And then our run, we're at -1. So 1, 2, 3. Okay? Okay, so okay, so that is 1, okay? That is a slope because 3 divided by 3 is 1. Okay, so that is our slope. If we do it backwards, it's still going to be the same thing. I want to show you that it doesn't matter. Let's do the rise from here. In this case, it'll be going down. So from 1 to the x-axis that's 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's -3 because it falls, and then to the left again is 1. Okay, so I'm sorry, we're at 2. I apologize, we're at 2. So from 2 to 1, that's 1. From 1 to the line to the y-axis is 2. And from the y-axis to -1 is 3. So that's 1, 2, 3. Okay, and it's negative because it's going to the left. Again, that is 1. A negative and a negative give you a positive, and 3 divided by 3 is 1. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that it doesn't matter which direction you take. It's still going to be the same slope. Okay, so let's do the slope here. Okay, rise over run. Okay, so to get from this point to this point, we go 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so our rise is +4 because we're going up. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then to the left, it's going to be negative because we're going to the left. And we're at 1, so that's 1, 2. Okay, -2. Okay, because we're at 1, right? We went 1, 2, 3, 4. We're at 1. That's a 4. And now 1, 2, because we're at -1. Okay, 2. And it's negative because we're going to the left. All right, and it's a good idea to put the coordinates. Okay, this is -1 and 3. Okay, it's good if we do that. And this is 1 on the x and -1 on the y. Okay? It's good if we do that so we know exactly where the point is. All right, so I show you how we got 4/2. A negative and a positive give you a negative. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Okay? So that slope is -2. Okay, so here we have another line, and we need to know what the slope is. Okay? So first, let's get the points. This is 2 on the x, and up 1 on the y. So it's +1. Okay? This one is -1 on the x, and +1 on the y. Okay? Now, how do we get from here to there? Rise and run. Rise over run. Okay, so the rise to get here, no rise, see? No rise because we're going straight across, so that's a rise of 0. And then our run is 1, 2, 3. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Okay? So our slope is going to be 0. Okay? Because any number, you divide 0 by any number, it's going to be 0. Okay? Any number is just going to be 0. All right? Divide 0 by any number, it's going to be 0. Okay, so here we have a problem. Okay, this is problem number 10. I know that I skipped 4 through 9, but I'm going to go back to those. I just wanted to do this one here. So let me do problem 10. It says, which of the following lines shown has a slope of -1/3? So which of the lines has a slope of -1/3? Okay, so what we got to do is we have to find the slope of each line. And remember, there's two ways to do it. There's the rise over the run method, or there is the formula. Okay. Okay. And there's the formula. Now for the formula, you need to know the points, and you need to know it's good to know the points anyways, because when you do the rise and run, you want to know where you're counting from. Okay. So let's see if line C will give us a slope of -1/3. Okay, so we're here. To move from here to here, we know there is no rise. So the rise is 0. So we already know C is not the 1. Because whatever the denominator is, this is going to equal 0. So it has a slope of 0. Okay? And you could tell by looking at it because it's flat. There's no climb, no slope. There's no fall, no slope. So we know it's not C. So let's try B. Okay? Let's try B. Okay? Now, to go from -3 to here, which is -1, that's the other point, we go up 1, 2. So we go up 2. Okay? We go up 2, 1, 2, and then to get to the y coordinate, we do 1, 2, 3. So 2/3 is not -1/3. So we know it's not B. Okay? We know it is not B. All right? So we know it's not C and it's not B. Okay, so let's try A. Let's try A. Okay. The rise and run. Okay, in this case, you want to get from this point to this point. So this is at -2, so you go from this point, 1, 2, right? You're at 2. Okay, 1, 2. Okay, and then from here to there, so you fall to 2. So that's that is a rise or a fall in this case of -2. Okay, so a fall of -2. Now to the right, we have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's to the right, so that's positive. Okay, so we have -2 over 6. Okay, when you have a negative and a negative, you're going to end up with a negative. Okay, you're going to end up with a negative, and then you can reduce this. 2 fits into itself 1 time, and it fits into 6 3 times. So there we go. We have our 1/3. Now the other way you could have done it, okay, was by using the formula. Okay, by using the formula, you would so 2 points. Here are the 2 points right here. I'll put them right here. 3, -2, and then -3 and 0. Okay, so we have the second y is -2 minus the first y, which is 0. Okay, first x, I'm sorry, second x is 3 minus the first x, which is -3. See how I did that? Because it is a negative. I have to put it in parentheses. Okay? And then multiply it. So this is going to be -2. Okay? And this is going to be, when you multiply these two, you're going to have a positive. So it's going to be 3 plus 3. Okay? Because multiply these two, you get a positive 3. Okay? So this is 6. So it's -2 over 6, again, -1/3, all right? Because you have the negative and a negative will give you a negative when you're dividing or multiplying, okay? And then this reduces to 1/3. 2 fits into itself 1 time, 2 fits into 6 3 times. So there is your -1/3, okay? All right, so this is problem number 10. I know I skipped, but now I will go back and do problems 4 through 9. But again, this is problem number 10. All right? Okay, so we have problems 4, 5, and 6. We're going to find the slope. Okay, find the slope, and in this case we're going to use our formula, y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. All right, and we know our x and y coordinates. We know our x and y coordinates. Okay, so we know our x and y coordinates. Okay, now let's use the formula for this one. Okay, second y, 2, first y, 5, minus 5. Second x, -1. First x, 3, and it's -3. Okay? So we have a negative and a positive. We subtract. Keep the sign of the larger number. 5 minus 2 is 3. And these two have a negative sign, so we're going to add those. And it's going to be negative. Okay? Okay? So we have a negative and a negative, which comes out as a positive. So that's 3/4. Okay? So let's try with this one now. All right? Same thing. Second y, 0, minus first y, which is 2, over second x, which is 4, minus first x, which is 0. Okay, this one is going to be -2. -2. This one's going to be 4. Okay. And now we have a negative and a positive, so you know that's going to be a negative. And this could be simplified. 2 goes into itself 1 time. 2 goes into 4 2 times. Okay. So that is -1/2. Okay. That is the slope. -1/2. Okay. Right, so let's try number 6. Okay, y2, here we go, minus y1, there's the first y right there. Okay, x2 over x2 is 2, minus x1, which is 4. Okay, you know this is going to be 0. 2 minus 2 is 0. So you already know where this is going. A positive and a negative, you subtract and keep the sign of the larger number. So you know that is going to be 0. It's a slope of 0. Okay, that means this line is a straight line right across. Okay, so here we have problem 7, 8, and 9. And again, we're going to find the slope. We're going to find the slope. And we're going to use our formula. Okay, our slope formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay? Now we know where our x and y coordinates are. Okay, so then we just set it up for each. Y second is 3 minus y first. This y first right there. Okay. X second is 0 minus x first, which is 6. Okay. All right. No negative, so we don't have to be doing multiplying signs. 3 minus 1 is 2. 0 minus 6 is 6. Okay, and it is a negative. Okay, it's a negative. So we have a negative and a negative is going to give us a negative. We could reduce that. 2 fits into itself 1 time. Two goes into itself 1 time, and it goes into 6 3 times. 2 goes into itself 1 time, and 2 fits into 6 3 times. So the slope for number 7, is -1/3. Okay, -1/3. All right. So that's your slope for number 7. Now your slope for number 8. Again, we set it up the same way. Y2 is -2 minus first y, which is 4. Second x is negative 2 minus the first x, which is 1. Okay? All right, so two negatives, we add those. Negative 6 over two negatives. We add these. And that's going to be negative 3. Okay? So, a negative and a negative will give you a positive. 6 divided by 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2. Okay? So, number 8 has a slope of 2. Okay? Now, number 9, again, we set it up. Y second, 4, minus y first, negative 2. Since it's a negative, I gotta put it in parentheses. Okay, because it's a negative, okay? So I put it in parentheses, all right? X2, which is 2 over here, minus x1, which is 4, all right? So here we have 4, negative and a negative give you a positive, plus 2. And this right here, we have a negative and a positive. We're going to subtract and keep the sign of the larger number. Okay? All right? We're going to keep that sign. We have a negative 2 down here. All right, 4 plus 2 is 6 over negative 2. We have a negative and a positive, which is going to give us a negative. All right? And 6 divided by 2, we know that it's 3. Okay? So our slope for number 9 is going to be negative 3. Okay, so that was problem that I just showed you 4 through 9. I already gave you problem 10 because I skipped ahead. And now I'm going to give you problem 11 and 12. Okay, so here we have problem number 11. And the question is, line N, okay, so a line, just happen to call it line N, passes through the following points. Okay? Passes through the following points. 0, 4, 1, 2, 2, 0, and 3, and negative 2. Remember, our x and our y